Yo, what up guys? Welcome back to Sneaker Stories. As always, I'm your host Chris Jack. Today, another early look for you guys right here on Sneaker Stories. This time it comes from Reebok. It's a shoe that actually caught my attention quite some time ago. Actually, I just thought it was something that looked really good. And I managed to get an early pair of the upcoming drop happening tomorrow, in fact, on Thursday, the 5th of December at a retail price point of 2,499 Rand. So without further ado, let's check out Reebok's Zig Kinetica Type 1. Alright, so as mentioned, this shoe did catch my eye in a different colorway. I think it was around a month or two ago. Someone on Instagram had posted an on-foot shot of this, and I was just like, damn, I really dig that. And you know, like, I haven't bought a lot of Reebok stuff over the last few years. I kind of feel like the brand's just been kind of like sleeping and maybe just preparing for something a little bit bigger, and I think that this could be the start of that. I mean, they've got some awesome stuff. We don't get too much of it out here in South Africa, but this is definitely a shoe that I'm into. Just from a silhouette point of view, there's some pretty cool tech going on in here, some nice materials and cool design story, which we'll get into now in this review. So the first time the shoe was revealed to the public, it wasn't actually called the Zig Kinetica yet. It was just called something along the lines of an energy return, and there was a collaboration that was done with some fashion brands at Paris Fashion Week or New York Fashion Week, one of the two, in some pretty awesome colorways. And it obviously got the conversation going a little bit about what Reebok's up to, like what is the silhouette. We haven't kind of seen that before, and it's basically combining like some older technologies and a whole bunch of material makeup on the upper of the shoe. And it wasn't until around a month ago, at least here in South Africa, I think it was around the 8th of November, where the shoe actually appeared with the name Zig Kinetica Type 1. And that was in a different colorway. This is the second release. Now, to get into the shoe itself, Reebok's worked with a famed designer who owns a store called Garb Store in the UK. His name's Ian Paley. He's done a whole bunch of different stuff with Reebok over the years. He's created some pretty amazing shoes, some of which I haven't actually seen before, just until doing the research on this particular pair and Ian Paley himself. And I gotta admit, he's made some pretty amazing sort of like inside out things all the way back as far as 2013 with the brand. So he's basically come in here and taken control of the upper, bringing a more stylish and fashionable approach to the upper of the shoe, and that we'll get into now. But I want to just talk about the outsole, because this is the most eye-catching thing for me on this particular pair, and this is obviously called the Zig outsole, and this is comprised of 3 different parts that make up the energy mechanism with this particular midsole. And as you might guess from the naming of the shoe, everything's kind of revolving around kinetic energy. And how this basically does that, because set just below the Zig Energy Shell that you can see that's done in a split tone over here, is a cushioning system from Reebok called Floatride Fuel, and that to the touch is actually really awesome. And you can get to that by feeling it just underneath in this linear groove underneath on the outsole, and then sealing that from the outside. You've just got this rubber outsole, which is something that they are calling a Zig Energy Band. And as far as I'm aware, these bands basically act like an elastic band, basically contracting and expanding, keeping the energy within the shoe, and working with the midsole and with the Zig Energy Shell over here to give you maximum energy return, basically when you're running in these. Now, I spoke a little bit about the midsole coloring being a split tone over here. One thing that Ian Paley really wanted to focus on for this particular pair, and tying into the kinetic energy theme as well, is this color gradients that you can see throughout the shoe, which basically represents kinetic energy and there's different force points. And if you're looking at like energy digitally, that's kind of what you get. You get all these mix of colors, and that's really translated well throughout this particular shoe. And you can just see towards the front of the midsole where this piece here is translucent, you are getting hues of blue and orange throughout there, and then the rest of that is just gray. Swinging around into the heel section of the shoe, the outsole does ramp up over here. Something which I haven't really picked up until now is that there is Zig written over there. So you do have the name of the shoe in the heel section. But then moving into the upper, and as mentioned, Ian Paley from Garb Store in the UK was responsible for the design of this, and it's a multi-layered effect on this particular shoe. So I'm just going to take the paper out so it'll give you a better idea of the material used here. But generally speaking, you've got 3 different layerings of this felt kind of nubuck suede material, from the toe box, which obviously ropes up into the lacing system, and then just around the lateral and the medial side of the shoe, and that's done in a light cream color. So that's probably going to be a little bit difficult to keep clean, so I would recommend probably spraying them with Crep Protect or whatever you use to protect your sneakers from getting too dirty. Speaking about the lateral side, you do have a Reebok logo that's done in this almost bluey color, and then just above that you'll see that there is this micro mesh here which pretty much wraps the entire underlay of the shoe, including the tongue section up here, if you guys can see that, and that's predominantly done in a blue tone, but then towards the lacing system here you do have these sort of fused overlays, just providing a little bit more structure to the lacing system and side panels of the shoe on both sides. Now the one nice thing about that micro mesh is that it gives you two different benefits. One is obviously breathability. Throughout the whole upper of the shoe you're going to get a lot of breathability for this, so a nice one for summer. And the other is transparency, so if you're going to be wearing different color socks and stuff, that could really affect the different coloration that you're going to get, at least the effect of that through the shoe, because you can pretty much see your foot right through the shoe. And moving further up into the lacing system itself, just one set of flat creamy colored laces provided with the shoe. However, they have also included this structural band which just goes over that lacing system if you do want to fasten it to your foot a little bit more, and that's obviously adjustable. The nice thing about this, and something Ian Paley wanted to do with the shoe, is just provide an opportunity for people to kind of wear the shoe their own way. So this is completely removable. It's quite easy, in fact. You just got to pull it out of these different eyelets, and then you get quite a clean little look on the shoe itself with that off. So either way, if you either like it or you don't have to wear it, and it's very easy to put on and off as you see fit. Now I've just put the laces and the tongue down to really show you this color gradient that you're getting throughout the upper of the shoe. You'll see from the lacing system you do have these hints of pinky and orange, and they basically wrap all the way around the shoe where they change color to the more greeny purple and then right into the heel pink tones around the back. And flipping inside the shoe, the sock liner here is this crazy material. I haven't really felt material like this before. I don't really know what it is. It's kind of like some kind of fiber, but it's incredibly soft, so it's really nice and cushioning for your foot inside the shoe. You've also got some padded heel sections here just in the heel section, which are obviously providing some more comfort and support. And then on the outside of that you do have these sort of TPU plastic overlays here, also just providing a little bit more comfort and stability for your heel in the shoe. From an insole perspective, both insoles are the same, so I'm just showing you one. You do have the Reebok and Trident classic logo over there, just done on a plain black. It's quite a thick insole, especially here in the toe section of the shoe, so it will be providing a little bit more comfort for you on foot. Now from a comfort point of view, these on foot are definitely more comfortable than I was expecting when I first felt the shoe, just because that Zig Energy Shell was quite hard and I was wondering how that's really going to work with all the other pieces to that midsole, and I'm pleasantly surprised by how comfortable and good looking they are on foot. So this is definitely a shoe that I'm going to be keeping my eye on for the future. I really want to see what other colorways are coming. I absolutely love this particular colorway. I think it's really awesome for summer. And from a sizing point of view, I've got a true size UK 9 here, which is my normal true size. I would possibly take a half size down in this particular pair, just because I had a little bit of space here in the toe box section for me. But when it comes to sizing, everyone's feet are different, as we all know. So if you do have an opportunity to go and try this on in a Reebok store before buying, then I would highly recommend doing that. If you want to be on the safe side, I would just go true to size. Like, I'm not going to have any problem wearing this at true to size UK 9. However, I don't know, there's just something in me that wants to try a half size down as well. So maybe I'll try to do that before I do the next review, because I'm definitely going to be grabbing a couple more colorways of this down the line. Now just to recap on the release details for these, in case you missed it earlier, these will be releasing tomorrow, Thursday the 5th of December here locally in South Africa, and globally as well. As far as I know, I think they are around $180 globally, or at least if you are in the States, and 2,499 Rand if you are based in South Africa. You can grab them at Reebok concept stores and Reebok.co.za if you do want to get a pair, but as mentioned, if you do want to try them on, go to one of the concept stores rather, so you have an opportunity to do that. Otherwise you can order it, return it if you really want to or whatever, but I always find easier just to go in store. But overall speaking, I'm just really excited to see what Reebok's doing right now. There's something that's really interesting in it for me, at least from these runner style silhouettes. Pretty sure there's going to be some cool colorways to come, but on foot I think these look absolutely awesome. So that's my thoughts on it. Let me know what you guys think of this particular pair in the comments below, and if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button right there for more content, reviews and vlog content. I'm about to get on a plane to Dubai to Soul DXB, so we'll be doing some cool vlog content and a whole host of giveaways coming soon when I'm back. So make sure you subscribe, and don't forget to hit the Instagram page as well and follow along with my travels to Soul DXB this weekend. But that's it from me. I hope you guys have enjoyed the review. Catch you on the next one.